Guys, look, we all love pretty pixels, and I've never seen a prettier pixel than this one, and it only costs 130,000. We had to figure out why it cost that much, and Sparkles told me why. Here it is.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for the final conclusion to my journey to the number
So George and I don't
one
know anything
float
about this.
Dragon Lore.
Yes, I have watched this video, chat.
I have tried.
The boys
and
haven't,
failed at great
and
time
I
and
was
expense
mouth breathing
to
watching
create
this
the
earlier.
Yeah.
Number one lowest float of this legendary skin. In 2024, I have been dedicating the most time and the most money I ever have chasing any skin that I've ever chased. After having to craft the majority of these M4A1S Knights myself due to scarcity, we currently stand at a 90% chance to hit him. Well, at least that's how we ended part 2 of the journey. However, since then, foolishly,
Oni, in this video, Oni costs him 30 grand.
Myself, and I
What?
used one of the higher float
What do you mean?
Knights in a
You'll see what I mean.
5% contract.
Oni makes a comment,
Unsurprisingly,
and he
this was
sees
a
the
huge
comment, and it
waste
ends
of
up costing him 30
$10,000
grand.
Skin, and
No.
the 1 in 20 odds did not come through. This
All right, chat, don't
actually
comment,
leaves
don't
us
comment.
with an 80%
No comment,
chance
no
at
comment.
the number 1 Dragon Lore instead of what we finished with, which was a 90%. In this
Dude,
video,
I'm
it is
telling
time
you,
to attempt
while
to
he's
boost
doing the
our
trade
odds
ups, my
from an
palms
80%
start sweating.
back up. To do this, I've been preparing. I sent my fellow YouTuber, Tech Savvy Scientist, $5,000 and instructed him to return as many low float mil specs from the Cobblestone collection as he possibly could.
Isn't the
This
Cobblestone
required
collection the
gathering
one that,
low-float
like,
industrial skins
isn't a thing
It
anymore?
only was out for a little while, no. So that's why this costs him so much, as far as I understand it.
Fantastic.
Is that
and the video will be on
the
his
majority
channel
of
him
the
attempting
food
all of these
that he
cobblestone
needs
specs.
for this
Big
trade
shout
up
out
doesn't
to Tech
exist.
Savvy for doing this for me, by the way. I'll leave his
So
details
he's
and the
making
videos
the
down below in
food
description.
for
Spoiler
the
alert, he
chance
managed
to
return
get the op.
29 mil specs to me. It's my job to take these mil specs, try and turn them into low float chalices. Final attempt at some chalices. Thank you so much.
chalice
Tech
is
Savvy.
that
Without
skin
you
of the
attempting, a lot
CZ.
of these wouldn't be
Like the
possible.
blue and
He's
yellow
informed
skin?
me the most
Yeah.
optimized way to do these trade ups is basically
And again, with
having
all of
two
this, a
items
high
in
float
from
one,
the
literally,
Cobblestone
you can't
collection
even put
mixed
that
with
because it'll
8
ruin the whole
fillers. This
recipe.
gives us a 16
The whole point of this
and
is low as
6-7%
possible
chance
float. Look at
at
those.
a
Look at that
Look at
float
the
on the right.
number.
Also here,
Yeah.
Desert Eagle hand cannon, which is of course float capped, so unusable. I have been doing a bunch of these contracts off camera, and amazingly, I managed to hit one of these chalices recently. However, there were a hell of a lot of fails included in that. I'm joined by my lucky cat, and that is a
I know. I low-key didn't see the cat butthole when I was watching.
Yeah, that is insane.
I can't believe he didn't blur that out.
Chances.
How do we not edit that part out?
That was crazy.
Chalices. Contract number 1 of 15. Let's go.
Okay, okay. So he's looking for a chalice, whatever that means.
The chalice is that skin right there. That
This.
one. The blue and yellow
Yeah.
CZ. Yes.
Okay.
So all of this, just think all of this at the end, he trades in the M4 A1S Knight. That is like the best thing you can get from this cobble package.
Right.
That's a purple. So he is trying to make perfect M4 A1S Knights. And to do that, he has to start down low in the blues. And so that's when he's talking about the cobble, what do you call them, mil specs or whatever. That's like a P250. He's starting with those, so he has to get the food all the way down low just to get the food that the Dragon Lore needs.
Oh
So
my
he's literally
God.
starting from the base because these super low float M4A1s didn't exist.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so this is
All right.
contract number 1.
Contract
we're
number
basically
1.
starting at the
15.
bottom, and he talks about doing them off stream
Okay.
with those mil spec blue pistols.
Fail. As a
So
little
what-
reminder,
oh, so
I
he's
gave
looking
Tech
for that. Okay,
Savvy
okay.
$5,000 to make all of these inputs for me, and he did great. He did really, really good. I got a lot more inputs than I would if I were buying them off the market. For
So
that
he
money.
hired
Here
someone
goes
else to
nothing.
make the first
Attempt number
layer of
2,
food.
Yeah.
for him.
16% chalice. Oh.
So he's looking for a purple. He's looking for a
Number
purple
3.
chalice.
Yep.
Show
He
me
needs a
the
chalice
Okay,
here.
okay.
Cobblestone collection. Oh,
Dang.
fail. Number 4. We need some luck, Kitty. Come on, let's go. Let's see the cobblestone. Oh no, we see the cobblestone. Wrong item, I guess. You get what you wish for, right?
Dude,
Very
That's
nice
purple
float
from the
and
cobblestone, but
cannon, not
But it's not
apparently
the wrong
that
one.
one is
There's a
float
very
capped,
real
so
possibility that we
that
could get
it
absolutely no
cannot be
chalices.
low enough for
Through
what
all
he
of these
needs.
items,
Dude.
it's so
That
hard
is insane.
to
What?
make these chalices in the first place, which makes my 9 nights so far just absolutely mind-blowing. Chalice time. We gotta start seeing some chalices. Come on, Gaben. Lego. Is the 0?
Dude,
out of
this is
15
insane.
about to
Look how
happen?
No, I knew
every
you would
gun-
love this.
Every
Even
gun
if
is
that
like
does happen,
perfect.
we can still try.
Doesn't
and
it
work
ooze
with what we
Minecraft
got.
energy?
Chalice.
Yeah, in a way.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
It's kind of like
such a
Minecraftified
it's-
because you have so much love for Valorant skins. It kind of like
Any
sticks
in-game cosmetic
yeah.
rarity, like ooh, run it up.
sticks
dude.
another element on top of
Time
it.
for our first chalice so far. Show us it.
Still hasn't
And
opened one.
Again.
No.
Oh
Dude.
my
So much
god.
work.
And
And
this
it
is just
cost
a
him-
base. And this is just the
Thi-
base level, right?
This
Like,
cost him
items, they will have to be
5,000
tracked.
just for the food for these
Just
contracts.
for these blues to find all
to
these
try
blues.
and get
God.
yes, because
it
they
up
had to
to- Are we
make
gonna
the blues
burn
from
through
light blues.
Absolutely all that money and all that work in a split second for absolutely nothing? Maybe.
Wow.
Gaben,
Oh my god.
please show me a chalice.
Oh
Just
my-
one.
How many
Just
how
one
many
singular
chalices does he
chalice.
need? Just one?
All of these 15 crazy expensive contracts. Let's go. We only have
Dude.
Are you kidding me?
3 contracts remaining. Not looking great, ladies and gentlemen. It really is not looking fantastic.
Oh.
So he only has 2 left. No way he gets it on the
Let's
last
go,
one.
chalice. Hey!
Oh, okay.
Oh
He got
my
it.
god.
He got it.
Actually
God,
hit
that shit is
one.
ugly.
We hit 1.
Yeah, it is.
Amazing.
He
I
was
don't
looking
think
so
it's the
much
best
for
float.
this ugly.
Yeah, because
you
I
go.
ran out of really,
0,
really
0, 0,
low
0,
float
1.
items to put in, but this is usable. And our very last
Wow.
contract. Can we squeeze
Out
out
of
another
15.
cheeky chalice right at the end? Let's find out.
No.
We got 1. We got 1 out of
It
15,
one-
and the float is not
1
even
for
that great.
15.
He spent
150 is
5K
wild.
and the float
There's
is not
been a
it's
lot of
0.00000 and it's still
on
not
this
low enough
journey
for
so
him.
far, and this was painful. That night, no pun intended, I was very frustrated after the failure of all of these mil specs only hitting 1 single chalice. So I decided to use one of my higher float chalices and whack it in a 10% trade up for a low float night. This is what happened. Yup, MP9 Wild Lily in low float. I'm not arguing with that.
Look at
one
all
too much. I
those
think that's a pretty
cases.
decent
Did you see all those cases?
Yeah.
Nah, he's
It can't be
insane,
used
dude.
in a
I've been
journey
like binging
whatsoever,
his
but
content.
When I was looking back at the footage, I realized
Look at this.
I
This is
didn't
insane.
even throw the chalice into the contract. I had completely left it out. by
No.
mistake.
Oh my
So it was
God.
time. to actually
Oni
put it into a
pauses here and
contract
goes,
this time
"What?
For another
What?"
10% for low float
How do you
night,
spend
And
thousands?
boom. Magically,
There it
the
is.
10% had come
10%
through
he hit
creating
that.
A really, really nice low float night that is usable in this journey. Somehow
Oh my God, that was the
forgiving.
cat there.
Look at this. Look at this graphic.
This cat right here is the one with the butthole. It was over here in the
Come
corner.
through
Where is it?
creating a
I don't know
Maybe
if
that's
you
the good
saw
luck
it.
charm, dude.
Yeah.
Low float night that is
This cat right
usable
here has a
in
butthole.
this
Yep.
journey.
Yes,
Somehow
I've seen it.
forgiving my mistakes
Dude.
of throwing the other night into a 5% and replenishing
Dude.
my stock of nights.
It's literally
Look
a
at this.
frag movie for
Brand new,
opening
dude.
cases.
Lower
He
float
has all of
fresh
his
night.
M4A1S
Despite
nights
spending
revolving
probably
around a Dragon Lore op.
bigger mark
So-
on
it's so
all of these
dramatic.
videos in total in this entire journey.
I kinda
attempting to
fuck with
create
it.
No, I like it a
Dragon
lot.
Lore.
I love
don't
it.
have a
And it's
sponsor
behind
for
him.
this video. The reason being, I'd like to mention something else to all of you. Something I hold pretty close to my heart. My girlfriend of the last 5 years.
I
whom
thought
I'm
it was
sure
gonna be
you've
really
seen
sad,
in many of
and
my videos.
she just has a
been
clothing brand, which is
working
tight,
extremely
but,
hard
like,
lately.
Oh, I
It's
thought
not-
it was about to
not
get
at all.
sad.
I
Yeah,
know,
I thought it was about to
I know,
get
you're
sad.
good, you're good, you're good.
Yeah, I heard the music and I was like,
I
oh,
was like,
damn.
oh
I
my
was like,
God,
oh my
no.
God, I hope
I
she
was like,
lives.
I was like, he
she's
sold
fine.
the house.
It was
I
kind
know.
of my idea. At first, I caught her doodling designs in her spare time, and I really liked what I saw. So I encouraged her to combine her love for art and her love for fashion, and to try try and start something on her own. I've seen
Nah, it's
every
tight, though.
single aspect
And, I
of
mean,
her
this video
journey from the
banged,
very,
too,
very
so I'm
beginning,
sure it put a
from
lot of eyes
not
on her
believing
brand
it
as
could
well.
ever
Yeah,
work
yeah.
to the amazing state that it's in today. Introducing Days. She sells pretty dope t-shirts, sweaters, and
Pretty
hoodies,
dope.
some of which you'll probably have already
And
seen
only
me wear
goes,
a bunch in my videos
it's
anyway.
cool, but
I'm never gonna have
$58 for a
any merch
t-shirt?
whatsoever. So this is kind of the closest thing you can get to
I
it.
was like,
However,
oh my
this
God.
is so much more
This dude's
than
a
just
savage.
merch. This is an entire clothing brand with hopefully a bright future ahead of it. If you're interested in checking out what she has created and is selling to the world, I'll leave it down below in the description. Daysclothing.com.
This actually
If any
makes
of you like
everything
the
funnier,
clothes,
bro.
Nah,
purchasing
dude.
them
And,
will
it's like,
literally
he has a
mean
really
the
nice
world to
XLR
her and
mic,
will
but the
mean a hell of a
game's
lot
not
to
set
you
up
as well.
properly,
That's
so
all
it's
I wanted to
peaking
mention.
all the time.
Let's
It makes it so
our
funny.
journey. Everybody in the comments from the last part of this journey was saying, now that you've got a 90%, you got to make it a 100%. You've come this far, you cannot possibly risk it. The chances of that 10% coming through and ruining absolutely everything. A lot of you seem to be very opposed to it. So I put together a very special contract. And I was joined by my friend Drutut, and we made a deal together. A shot at another 100% was on the table. Here's how it went.
Okay.
Yo, yo.
So he's at 90%.
Firstly,
He's trying to get to
happy
100%
birthday.
to get that.
Yes.
That
Very
AWP.
nice, bro.
I'm happy you hit that wild lily on your birthday.
Hey, Tuzi, thank you so
That's
much.
You
man.
don't know, my hand when clicking the button was like really shaking, and like from now on I made a vow. I am never ever doing like a contract, expensive one, or like gambling on my like a special day ever again.
it could ruin it all, right? I haven't told my audience the deal.
You can explain it because with my broken English, and
So you have very, very kindly provided me 2 inputs from the St. Mark collection in quad 0 format. That is because your ultimate
Quad
dream
0
and
meaning
number
that's how the
1
float
skin
starts,
ever
so
of
they're
all
very
time,
low
if I'm
float.
not mistaken, is the MP9 Wild Lily.
yes, it is in fact a skin that I've always wanted to go for, but I am not a multi-millionaire.
Well, it's your birthday today, and you hit that birthday contract for the number 2.
Yeah.
And that's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's giving him this lily, this wild lily.
Yeah.
So he
deal
and
is
right now
you provide these
in
to
this
me for
video,
free,
that Droot guy has the
and
number
then
2 Wild
if I
Lily.
hit the MP9 Wild
And
Lily,
now he's
I give that to
giving
you.
Sparkles
Yes, that's
2
the deal.
extremely low
Basically,
float
I'm giving you
pieces,
2
ingredients of this
Yep.
recipe,
Right.
and Sparkles
But
has
if
all
you
the rest
hit
of them.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, one of the outcomes of this is the Wild Lily. The other outcome is what I'm going for. Thank you for giving me these ingredients. Even if it turns out how I don't want it, and you get a Wild Lily, I'll give you the Wild Lily.
Oh
It's your
wow, that's sick.
Which is
That's
really
sick.
cool.
Okay.
But he's not going for Wild Lily.
Of
That's
course not,
basically
yeah.
the bad outcome.
Right,
here.
right.
But he said, "It's your birthday. Thank you for contributing.
I love to hear
If
it.
I get that, I'll
We
give it
have
to
a
you."
look at the number 1s and the number 2s and everything we're using for this. It's pretty crazy. We're using the number
Golds are
2
number
Emerald
1
pinstripe,
float
using number
ever.
5 Amber Fave,
In
using
existing.
number 3 Emerald
Ever in
pinstripe, using
existence?
number 4 Emerald
Yep.
pinstripe,
Current
using
number
number
ones.
1 Desert Eagle York
I
Magnum
heard
Butter,
about that.
which is just absolutely ridiculous. Tech Savvy crafted this.
Oni
5
Pixel
zeros and then
crashes
6,
out
6, 6,
at
6,
that
6,
right there.
so
Because it's like a
sick.
$4,000
So if this
deagle.
gets deleted
Really?
and we
Yep.
get like a P250 or
We won.
yeah, okay. I'm not even gonna say that.
And
The
and
number
he's
2
deleting these
challenge,
skins from
the
existence.
number
deleting them.
Yes, they're gone.
Also crafted by me.
the number
What?
3 challenge, the number 2 Midnight Lily.
That's
And
also
I didn't even
amazing.
realize
The
that.
number
Yeah, when you
2
do it trade up, you're deleting them. Right?
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
In
that's
case you
actually
couldn't tell,
insane to
I
think
love those,
about.
Like, purple items. Like I love mil-spec contracts so much. Those are my favorite.
Dude.
They're not
The
ready,
outcome.
chat. They're not
Oh
ready.
my
Number
The
one.
boys are
Wait,
not
even a
ready.
Raiden P250?
I haven't checked those, and I don't want to check those. All right, I'm
Okay,
not.
we don't check, we don't
yeah,
check, we
we're
don't
not.
check.
That's not gonna happen. 20% new Wild Lily, 5 zeros. 20%
Yeah.
new number 1 Knight. That is the absolute ideal outcome for me, to be honest, because then I can whack it in the number 1.
Oh, so he's still going for the
If-
knights.
It's-
So this whole point is his chat
So
saying
number
you're only
one.
at 90%. You've spent 2.5 years doing this.
Right.
You need to make it 100. So the only way to make it 100% is to make the new number 1 M4A1S Knight and the 2 ingredients that he needed for it, he got from Droot. But in this
Oh.
contract, based on the ingredients in the recipe,
Yeah.
these are all of the potential outcomes.
Oh, so this lily is just not even for the. We're not even talking about the dragon.
Not
lore.
even remotely. The
Yeah.
only thing that would benefit his dragon lore odds and get him to 100% is that 20% chance M4A1S Knight.
Right
It's
here.
the only thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is what he's
Anything
looking
else is a miss for Sparkles.
for. Okay.
But for his homie and for the content,
this lily.
that 20% Lily, if he crafted this,
Okay.
would be the #1 Lily, and it's that guy's favorite skin, and it's his
Okay.
birthday.
Okay.
I
Okay.
know.
Okay.
I
Okay.
could beat my own #1 Poseidon here. Yeah, but I wouldn't be too unhappy with it. You know,
Hey, I love you,
it's-
Drew,
it's
but we're
better
going
than
for the op.
terrible-
Alright.
That's that's cool that he said that too. He's like, you know why I'm doing this. Like,
That's absolutely
this is to
ridiculous.
100%
Wow,
guaranteed
bro.
dragon lore.
Unironically, worth a lot. I don't
Yeah.
know. Realize that.
No, I know.
That
I
thing
know
is
it's worth a
fire.
lot. One of them's in. One of them's in already.
Wait, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you put the OG in slot 1 and the Calico in slot 6?
Just
because
because
I
it's
need to
your
make the
birthday.
Yeah,
Sure.
because my birthday is on 16th of November. And I was
Okay.
thinking to put it on 11. Like, I will just be honest, I am not a liar. I am just here screaming for the MP9.
Of
right?
course, of course.
I am just screaming for the MP9, but I assure you, no matter
Dude.
what, as long as it's a good outcome,
Like,
I
see
will
if
be
he
happy
does
and it's
the,
an
like,
amazing birthday for
the
for
dollar
me.
amount of
No.
each of these. I
If
can't
you
remember
can
if it was
walk away
him or
with a
Oni.
Smile, that's also a smile in my book. But we know which outcome I prefer. Yeah, shout out to everyone
Oh
watching, guys.
my
Make sure
God,
to comment
bro.
and like in advance, no matter what. I'm very thankful to be part of this journey, and I'm very happy with how far we've come. Could I have the honors, please, in a Sparkles video?
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, yeah. I'm probably gonna cover my eyes for it because it's so scary. How much do you think this contract is, by the way?
The
Quick-
Deagle
here
is
it comes.
worth like
Here it
4k.
Yeah.
The AUG is like 3k, so 4k, 3k.
Look at
Then the
that.
Skull is like 2.5k out. No, like 2k. Then the Chalices are both 3k. And then each pillar is like 1,000. 21k.
Oh.
50k range. Yeah,
For
something like that.
one
You want me to do it in
trade up,
Polish?
he at 20% odds.
He is throwing 20,000 at the wall.
Yeah.
For 20% odds. 4 odds of another gun.
That he's also going to get rid of.
Oh.
Yep,
That-
for the M4, yes.
For the
yeah,
M4
it's
that
literally
is
food.
also-
It's
Yes,
all
for the
op
M4.
food.
It's all for the
Whatever
M4.
brings the most luck, that is what we need right now.
5, 4, 3,
What language is this?
2, 1, go!
I have that skin.
20
I have that skin.
hitch. And
I have that
went
skin.
back-
No, I have that skin. I have that
I
exact
went
skin.
back and watched our first day of Counter-Strike last Wednesday, and I saw someone gift you that skin.
I have
and
it.
I got my heart rate went up. I said, Sparkles just spent $20,000 for a skin that Hitch got last week on his first day of Counter-Strike.
It said I got.
I have Franklin. No, his name's Franklin. It's right there.
I
I have
know.
him. I have him. Oh my God,
Oh my goodness.
bro! How do you not cry? How do you not?
He is crying. No, he's dead. He's crying. He's
You
crying.
think so?
Wait, he is?
Yes,
Oh my
100%.
I just woke up my entire family.
That is pain.
I am so sorry for you, man.
I'm so sorry that you didn't hit the lily.
No. Me, it doesn't matter. I am so sorry for you, man.
It's #1 P250 Franklin.
It is #1.
It is. Yeah, we did it. We did it. A ginormous
Oh.
so big. The #1 P250 Franklin. It
The
could
number
not
one
have gone worse.
Franklin.
So much money wasted, and it was back to the drawing board. The current #1 Dragon Lore is quite legendary. It has
Now, this
the
is where it
float
gets crazy.
of 000 1337 420 69.
Pause
This
it real
is, of
quick.
course, the ultimate memes.
So Oni, and he talks about it a little bit too, but this op skin was literally the result of like damn near thermonuclear engineering. Look at that float. It is leaked 420, 69.
Wait, what?
They did.
Oh my god.
And this is the number one op. This is the number one Dragon Lore op before Sparkles does this trade up. At the time of him making that, that is number one. And they engineered every digit had to be engineered of exactly what to feed the trade up contracts to make Leet 42069.
No way.
Every single piece of food that went into it was mathematically engineered.
How this
is where I start to get nerd chills. I was like, bro,
how do you even do
what? So Oni was like, this is he was like, when Sparkles said he was like going for this, I wanted to root against him because like this op is like a piece of CS history because it took so much effort to make because it is a meme float.
Yeah.
So keep going.
Okay.
Remember when I said Oni cost him 30?
Yeah.
26.9. This is, of course, the ultimate meme skin. You can't really get a better, more memey float than that. And it took Frankfurter a very, very long time to get all of the inputs for and craft, and this was many, many years ago where it would have been considerably easier than nowadays. He has then sold this D-Lore to one of the biggest Brazilian streamers in the whole scene. I can't really say his name correctly, but Cajoro? That is my attempt at it. Who I have been battling with in this journey. For those of you who don't remember, I tried to buy the old #1 Knight before I created the new one for around $8,000, which was a very reasonable price, and he came along and offered double 16,000, and surprise, surprise, he got the Knight. He was basically throwing this much money at the Knight to try and stop me from crafting the new #1 Dragon Lore, which makes perfect sense because he owns the #1 Dragon Lore, and why would he want his to become #2? He said he would love to join me and be there at the time that I tried to create this #1, and I asked him, why would you want that? You're not going to be exactly there to cheer me on. Like, it might be a moment of sadness for you. And he said, it's something historic. Having the opportunity to witness it is spectacular. So big shout out to him for being so humble and just wanting to watch a historic event despite it possibly creating him some financial loss. I said, unfortunately, I think our timings are going to be a bit off, so I'm not sure you can be there. However, the #1 Knight that I created, I will not register on the database. I'm just going to delete it in the contract. So whatever happens, your #1 Knight stays your #1 Knight. He said, good luck, bro. Thank you for not registering the real #1 Knight. You, above all, are a nice person. Despite these little skin battles I inevitably end up having with people when I'm trying to craft new #1s, he's shown his true colors, and his support for me, despite what I'm trying to do, is insane. So big love to him. Before finalizing this insane contract, I saw this clip from Oni.
I think the new #1 will be not as a nice #1. Why? And I kinda hate Sparkles for doing this, but I told him this already, but I also respect it, of course. But look at this #1, the current #1 Orb Dragon Lore. The float is 0.0000 1337 420 69. I hope Sparkles just doesn't do random float. Would be nice if at least a 69 or something.
This inspired me to try and put even more effort and even more expense into this.
He goes for a meme?
by creating a special float of
No.
#1 Dragon Lore. I got talking to Tech Savvy to discuss the
Look at the
art
numbers.
possible, what we could create, what we couldn't create, and after a couple of hours or so in a call together,
Oh
we
my
broke
God,
down
now
the
my
math,
brain hurts.
came up with the creation of a skin that could possibly lead us.
Look how sexy that is.
Look
how sexy that is.
1 Dragon Lore. This would be absolutely unreal. It wouldn't be easy.
There's no
We'd have
way.
to craft the specific skin that we needed down the chain and then work our way
Starting
up
from
the chain.
light
Then,
blue.
if we even managed to hit it in the final contract, this would mean we had to input the M4A1S blue phosphor as the 10%, which would mean we'd have a 10% I don't even want to say it, a 10% shot at the warp fade. It would be so bad. It would be so bad if we hit that. But during our call, we really dove deep down the CS float tunnel and came up with 2 contracts. One a 60% and one a 30%. Both an emerald pinstripe, which if we managed to hit it, we could use that in a restricted contract that would give us a 20% at an M4A1S night with the correct float to then put in to the 90% Dragon Lore contract to give us that 1111111 special float Dragon Lore. Firstly, I attempted the 30%. Fail. Yes, we hit the amber fade instead of the emerald pinstripe. Big rip, but all hope was not lost. I then attempted the 60% emerald pinstripe contract.
I am at a loss for words.
No, this I literally
Fail.
I was a sponge
Chance
watching
had
this
screwed
over
up.
the weekend.
It was well and truly back to the drawing board. This time, we calculated 2 more contracts. One to once again give us the emerald pinstripe needed for that 1111111 number 1 float Dragon Lore, which would still be a 20% at the night, and then a special backup float contract. This would give us a 70% at an emerald pinstripe usable that we could chuck into a 40% for a night that would give us the correct float at 90% Dragon Lore with the float 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. However, failing either of these 2 contracts still meant that we'd have a 90% at the number 1 Dragon Lore. However, it wouldn't be in special float, but if these 2 fail, then it just wasn't to be. And we'll still attempt it anyway. So I gathered all the skins needed for that suitable float emerald pinstripe to create the night that creates the 11111 Dragon Lore, and we hit it. 20% shot at that night is now possible. Now it was time to create the emerald pinstripe with a specific float to create the specific float night that would create the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dragon Lore. And once again,
he hit both
we
of them.
smashed.
Oh my
Not only
God.
did we have a 20% at the night to create the 1111, we also now had a 40% to create the night
Which
of
one?
the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, so he
The
has to
final
choose?
2 pieces of the puzzle.
No,
have
no, no,
now
he
been
runs
unlocked.
both straight
Time
up.
to
Oh,
attempt
okay.
to see if they'll either one will hit.
contracts. This
Which are both are fire.
is the 20% at the night with the perfect float for the 11111
Oh,
Dragon Lore.
I
We've
get
also
it,
got
I get
a
it.
whole bunch of options in here. We have the Poseidon. It won't be the number 1 because I already hit the number 1. And this hydroponic won't be the number 1 hydroponic because I already hit that too. But we have 30% and some very scary.
No.
Not
terrible
Franklin.
Not Franklin.
Final item.
Not Franklin again.
This contract, the one that we took a long time crafting, failed at many times, and boom, there it is. 20% at a night with a low enough float
This is
that's
insane.
usable for the 11111 number 1 Dragon Lore. These skins, for reference, they are not cheap. This is the number 1 Daybreak, for example. This alone cost $3,000, and all of the other skins you see in here are also pretty much thousands of dollars. Insane contract. 30% for absolute.
Bro, just clicking that button.
20%
Bro.
mega moldy.
No, this is like a $12,000.
AK-47
It's like a $20,000 attempt for a 30%
20%
for a
night.
specific
If we
digit
hit
number of
this
food to make your
20%
Dragon Lore
we
a
got a
certain
shot at
number.
that special float.
Like,
we will try
dude.
our absolute best to make it happen. My heart's beating out of my chest right now, and we haven't even got to the final contract. This
got the lucky
is
cat. We're good.
absolutely insane.
Oh
An
my
entire year of work. So much time, effort, expense, calculations, everything. Let's try this 20%. Count it down with me, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1. M4A1S Night.
Oh my God, Franklin. Oh my God, he hit it.
Oh.
No way.
Let's go.
No way. No way did we just hit that. Oh my goodness.
So that was
Oh
for the
my
one,
goodness.
that was for the
You know what this means?
11111.
Yes.
You know what
Yeah.
this
So this is
means,
the part of
guys?
the
You know
video
what this
where
means? We have
like,
to use
I was
the blue
pumped,
phosphor. It means
but I was
the
also
final
horrified
contract's
'cause I was
ready
like,
to go.
You just hit 20%. The entire culmination of this video is to avoid 10% because
Yeah.
it ruins everything.
Yeah, because he's still only at 90% for the
And he
dragon
just hit
lore.
a 20, and I'm like, dog, if you
Oh my
have that,
God, bro.
that is your it's all for nothing percentage.
Oh my
And
god.
we have to use
Ugh.
the blue phosphor for a 10%. Oh my goodness. We need to check the night. We need to make sure it is the correct float. There it is. 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 9. Okay. Okay.
Dude.
Shit just got real. This alone is insanity. Ooh, I can't register this on the database because this is actually technically now the new number
So
one
he has made
float
2
night. So I
brand
actually
new
have the
number
one
ones, but
and the
isn't
number
registering
two.
them
If I
because he's
register
gonna
gonna
them
trade
on the
them, yeah.
database,
Yeah.
poor Cajoro, his night would be knocked down to a number 3 instead of a number 1. This is
and that's
absolute
perfectly legal, but like he
insanity.
can do
I
that for
cannot
sure.
believe
Yeah.
He's just not
that we
because
just
he's not
hit
trying to screw over
that
the other guy.
20%. It
Yeah.
leaves one final contract remaining, and you guys know. You guys know what that contract is. No more messing about with chalices. No more messing about with mil-specs, Dark Ages, P2000 chainmails. One final step remains, which means we gotta pull this guy out of storage. Oh dear.
Blue
Oh
phos-
dear. Come on then, get out of there. I had already done all the math and all the calculations for most likely failing this
Bro.
20% contract.
Oh
Look,
my
I've
God,
already
I'm
got the
sick
other
to my
40%
stomach
one,
thinking
all
about doing
calculated,
this.
all ready to go with the correct float of the night and everything. but
Imagine pulling one of
we
your
don't need it.
favorite
Instead,
guns
this
out just as 1/10
is what the
food
contract
because you need its
going to
digits.
90% at a Dragon Lore with
90%.
1, 2, 3, 4
90%.
float. 10% at an warp fade with terrible float.
Oh my god.
Is
Oh my
This is
god.
Only
insane.
two
If
outcomes,
you're
bro.
enjoying this journey so far, please smash that like button. Near enough $100,000 is about to be read.
That 10% is
All on
scary,
the line.
bro.
Bro.
To make
Oh
history.
my
I
God.
need to check the specific flow of these nights so incredibly closely. First night into the contract. Second night, the 20% we just hit and calculated perfectly into the contract. Final item into.
How do they even
Contract.
come up with this?
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
The
my.
number 1 Dragon Lore.
Dude.
The contract I have
That
spent
is
1
so
year or so leading
fire,
up to this
bro.
point. I just want to remind
How
everyone
many-
that this was not done for financial gain. Whatever comes out of this
This speech
contract
kinda goes
will
hard.
be at great financial loss, even if it is the outcome that we want. This isn't about money. This is about legacy. This is about legend. This is about success in the face of defeat. Being mad enough to do the thing that so many people said was not possible and proving all of them wrong. If I were to hit this, this will be my greatest gaming achievement ever. Sure, unboxing
Oh, I've
a
seen that
souvenir
clip.
Dragon Lore. That was amazing. Sure, unboxing the lowest float stat track item in the entire world with 1 in a billion chance. That was amazing. But this
What?
is so much more than those. Those were events of pure luck, pure chance. This is something different. This has been a journey with struggle, failure, frustration, expense, having to stand back up so many times after getting brutally beaten down. But today is the day we
Cannot imagine
our
pressing
journey.
that
I-
button.
I don't know if I'd be able
Cannot-
to.
I
Final
legit cannot imagine it.
destination. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much
W
for
speech,
joining
by
me
the way.
on this.
I don't know if I'd be able to press it.
It's time. It's time. 90% number 1 Dragon Lore. 10% number 1 Orb Fade.
Bro.
There's no way.
Oh my! I
Count it down
don't know
with
if I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
No.
Bro. I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
I'm gonna have to close my eyes for it as well. 9, 8, 7,
You're just home alone
6.
at your computer
No.
doing this, dude.
Bro.
Like,
5.
Dude.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't be
dude.
able to do it. I don't know. I don't think I think
Three.
I'm too much of a little
2.
sissy baby girl.
Remember, always chase your dreams, no matter how hard they are. Let's go!
He's shaking, bro.
Oh my god.
Let's go! Let's go! I'm sorry, E.T. I am so sorry. Oh, my goodness, boys. We have to check the float. We have to check it. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Holy.
Oh my god.
We did it.
He's trying, bro.
I mean,
We did it.
I mean, how many years did he work on? That's insane.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new number 1 Dragon Lore. I want to say a huge shout out to absolutely everybody involved in this journey. I want to name everyone, but there's so many people I would forget. This is an absolutely historic moment. I never thought I'd cry over a CS skin. But we did it. We did it. I
wow.
know a lot
Nerd
of you will be
chills, bro.
watching this
Nerd
just
chills
before
for
Christmas,
sure.
so I hope you
Wow.
have the absolute best Christmas. Remember what's important. Friends,
this
family,
was at the end
loved
of last year,
you guys
2024.
are
that he
absolutely
got it
incredible,
done.
and I
Really?
did this for you as much as I did this for me. I could not be happier with how this turned out, and I hope this shows the world that Counter-Strike is more than just a game to some of us. I love our community, and I'm so privileged and proud to be in the position that I'm in, and it's all because of you guys. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. And I hope everybody watching this has an amazing Christmas and an even better New Year. It's finally time
Yeah.
for me
Wow.
to take my rightful place in this museum display
Look at
in
that.
the very center. The number 1 Orb Dragon. I hope all of you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Bro, on it.
Peace.
Oh my god.
Isn't that,
Bro.
And I watched that and
Oh.
I was like,
What
oh
the
no, oh no. This is awoken. This is awoken some primal gamer
no.
nerd urge in me, bro. So I've been just like diving
Bro.
into the world of floats and everything.
Oh, that's gotta be the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Nah.
Dog.
The
Wow.
fact that he attempted to go for
Yeah,
that
dude,
is insane.
The fact that like it's kind of like there's this very famous speed run for N64 007 called Streets 112, and it's this guy he goes really crazy when he gets a 112, and it's like this huge thing, and then people were going to beat it, and it's like, why try to beat Streets 112? Like, it's so famous, why would you go and try to beat it? And that's definitely how the Counter-Strike community felt about trying to beat that float.
For sure.
And then he was like, so I'm going to do what's right and also make a meme. If I'm going to beat it, I might as well beat it in a way that Counter-Strike community, Counter-Strike fans still love.
Yeah.
And
crushed
my,
it.
and then just, oh my
A
God.
1-1-1 flow is
Dude.
insane.
Oh my God. That was
Like-
unreal, bro.
First of all, the
What?
numbers they had to do to get that flow is insane to me.
And it's what's crazy is like you can go on like and again we're 4 days into CS, but you can go on a like live checker and see what the number 1 Dragon Lore op is, and it's that
It's
one.
that one.
Dang.
Like you can go and look at all of them and see how many factory news, stat tracks, whatever there are, and it's a live database of what exists out there.
I wonder if he put the number 1 Franklin in the database.
He probably did.
I
dude.
hope
he
so,
probably
man.
did.
I
Number one Franklin.
Dude,
Number
opening
one
that
Franklin.
Oh my god, that must have been the worst feeling, dude. It's the guy's birthday. You're like, hey, bro, even if we don't get what I'm looking for, hopefully you get this. And then it's a Ben Franklin P250.
Oh
bro.
God. Bro.
Nah, I'd be pissed.
Oh. Well. CS is crazy. The skins are crazy. There's also a game attached to it where you shoot people in the head. You guys should play that too.
Yeah, we got to check that out.
Oh my
Yeah, with
God.
that being said, let's go open up some cases.